Chapter 74. Emperor Flame Riot 6th Sovereign Master. The sky is wide. It had been 5 days since he left Falling Rock City. Currently, Xiaoyan was lying on top of a huge rock in the forest. He raised his head and looked up at the sky. It was as if the sky had been washed by a breeze. At the edge of forest domain, there were very few towering trees that could cover the sky. It was also because of this that the vast sky could be seen with a single glance. There was only one official road from the Falling Rock City to the West Star City. As the distance between the Falling Rock City and the West Star City grew further and further, the number of residences in the surroundings gradually decreased until the surroundings were once again surrounded by boundless forests. After walking for a few days on the official road, Xiaoyan once again jumped into the deep mountains and continued his cultivation. At this moment, the black scroll in Xiaoyan's hand was the remnant of the 8-directional thunder ruler. After resting for a while, Xiaoyan leapt up and tore open the scroll. Soul energy surged out from between his eyebrows like a tide and instantly wrapped around the scroll in his hand. After adjusting his breathing to its best, Xiaoyan finally made up his mind to cultivate the 8-directional thunder ruler. A moment later, Xiaoyan's soul energy seemed to have entered a world of lightning. Dense lightning bolts whistled down from the sky and struck the void. It was as if thunder had risen from the ground, causing the void to tremble slightly. After Xiaoyan's soul force entered the ocean, the boundless sea of lightning suddenly began to shake violently like a tsunami. In the next moment, it had already formed a huge ruler that stood proudly in the sky. The huge ruler was covered with tiny words, which were the key points of cultivating the 8-directional thunder ruler. Those who wish to learn the ruler must possess the power of lightning to pry into it. At the hilt of the huge ruler, dozens of vigorous words formed from silver thunder rumbled, causing people to look sideways. Power of lightning. Xiaoyan frowned, and then withdrew his soul force. He looked at the black scroll in front of him. Half a day later, a golden flame suddenly appeared in Xiaoyan's right hand. The flame burned and thunder rumbled. The risk of using 3,000 lightning monarch flames was also one of Xiaoyan's bets. 3,000 lightning monarch flames could be said to be the lightning within the flames. It had the properties of lightning, but Xiaoyan was not confident that it could be used to activate the 8-directional thunder ruler. Chi chi chi. The golden flame kept burning the black scroll. Soon, the scroll was burnt to ashes. Looking at the ashes in his hand, Xiaoyan's face twitched, and he almost cursed out loud. At this moment, the lightning threads that were flowing upstream of the 3,000 lightning monarch flames suddenly flashed intensely. Then, countless tiny lightning threads gathered in front of Xiaoyan. Under the latter's shocked gaze, they slowly formed a cultivation technique composed of lightning. It's good, it's good. Xiaoyan let out a long sigh. If he really got burned down, he would have nowhere to cry. Soul energy surged out once again, wrapping around the entire cultivation technique. In just a few breaths of time, the lightning characters seemed to have lost their spirituality, disappearing one after another. After memorizing the essence of the cultivation technique in his mind, Xiaoyan flipped his hand and the blue flame ruler appeared in his hand. At the same time, a flame surged out of his body. Before the flame landed on the ground, it turned into a flaming horse, the Xiaoao that had been in Xiaoyan's body for a long time. Perfect, I need to practice it. Please be on guard for me. Rubbing the Xiaoao's big head, Xiaoyan said with a smile. The current Xiaoao was already at Xiaoyan's neck. Even Xiaoyan wasn't sure how strong it was. It was at least not weaker than an ordinary monarch spirit. The Xiaoao gave Xiaoyan a resentful look. A trace of displeasure flashed across its big eyes, but it still pouted and took a few steps forward. It laid on the ground and breathed out flames in boredom. With a light smile, Xiaoyan closed his eyes. According to the description of the cultivation method, 3,000 lightning blue flame rulers suddenly appeared from the hand that held the blue flame ruler, completely wrapping around the blue flame ruler. Just as Xiaoyan was about to proceed to the next step, an unexpected change occurred. The originally calm 3,000 lightning monarch flames suddenly began to burn fiercely. The golden lightning arcs that could be seen by the naked eye flashed wildly. Before Xiaoyan could react, he felt a heart-burning pain in his body. It was as if his body was struck by lightning, and he powerlessly fell to the ground. When the Xiaoao by the side saw Xiaoyan lying unconscious on the ground, it immediately became anxious. When it saw the golden flame uncontrollably jumping on the surface of Xiaoyan's body, the Xiaoao's big eyes flashed with doubt. Wu! The unconscious Xiaoyan woke up from the burning pain. He could feel the wild violence of the 3,000 lightning monarch flames in his body. Xiaoyan was also shocked. But now, he didn't have the time to care about why the 3,000 lightning monarch flames would suddenly become violent. Xiaoyan endured the burning pain and directed the chaos great monarch flame in his body to suppress the 3,000 lightning monarch flames. The Xiaoyi's expression was solemn as it looked at the violent 3,000 lightning monarch flames. Immediately, a fiery light burst out from its body and turned into a red light barrier to defend against the latter's destruction. The Xiaoao, who had been stunned for a moment, finally reacted. Its body turned into a ball of flame and entered Xiaoyan's body in an instant. Ah! The unprecedented pain caused Xiaoyan's eyes to turn red. The veins on his forehead bulged, and his face became ferocious. He let out a deep roar. Because he used too much force, Xiaoyan's legs started to cramp at the same time. That kind of feeling almost made him faint. In Xiaoyan's body, when the Xiaoao entered, the Chaos Great Monarch Flame had already fought back against the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flame. The 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flame were like a furious lion, crazily attacking everything in Xiaoyan's body. The Chaos Great Monarch Flame was like a firefighter, protecting everything that was being attacked by the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flame. But it was obvious that the Chaos Great Monarch Flame was still too weak. It was not enough to protect him perfectly. Boom! 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 The lightning was furious. It was as if the golden lightning had pierced through the void. It continuously flowed through Xiaoyan's body, wantonly destroying everything it saw. Ow! The Xiaoao let out a long roar. In an instant, the Chaos Great Monarch Flame began to burn fiercely. Like a flaming net, it covered the sky and covered the earth as it rushed towards the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames. Sizzle sizzle. The flames and the lightning collided violently. For a moment, neither side could do anything to the other. Both sides were in a deadlock, causing the destructive power of the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames to slow down a lot. At the same time, under the control of the Xiaoao, the flames in Xiaoyan's body surged out crazily, repairing the damaged meridians in Xiaoyan's body. At this moment, Xiaoyan was looking at the mess inside his body, but he was also helpless. He could only pray that the Xiaoao won. What's going on? While the pain was alleviating, Xiaoyan was thinking hard about this problem. There was no way the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames would explode for no reason. There were only two things that could cause it to suddenly explode. Although he was suffering from a heart-burning pain, Xiaoyan's mind was unusually clear. Firstly, he was affected by the 8-directional Thunder Ruler Monarch skill. Secondly, during the battle with Lei Te a few days ago, the 3,000 lightning wretches had absorbed the accumulating Thunder Pearl and blocked the influence of the Lightning King arm. Thinking of this, Xiaoyan's heart suddenly moved. He immediately remembered that when he was fighting late, he had used the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames to absorb the mottled lightning energy from the Thunder Accumulating Pearl. He felt a little strange. Just as Xiaoyan was deep in thought, a drastic change occurred in his body. The two kinds of monarch flames that were in a deadlock for a moment slowed down, and then collided with each other with an even greater power. Xiaoyan, who was caught off guard, spat out a mouthful of blood. He felt that his 5 viscera were about to shatter. The Xiaoao that controlled the 3,000 lightning Xiaoaos had also been stimulated. In its past life, it was a top expert who looked down on all the regions. Today, it was actually troubled by a tiny monarch flame. Ow! A roar that sounded like a dragon's roar reverberated unceasingly. The flames that were formed by the Xiaoao instantly shot out in all directions. Countless needle-thin meteors pierced through the lightning in an instant, causing the attack of the 3,000 lightning monarch flames to pause for a moment. The golden flame shrunk rapidly. Every time it trembled violently, it would release a large amount of the monarch flame's source. After being purified by the fire net, it turned into pure origin monarch ki and poured into Xiaoyan's limbs and bones. Xiaoyan, who was enduring the pain, suddenly felt a comfortable feeling coming from his body. After that, his mind became clear, and the endless pain instantly faded away like a tide. In the next moment, Xiaoyan's strength, which had not increased for a long time, began to grow rapidly along with the consumption of the golden flame. Within his body, numerous origin chains condensed out of thin air, as if they were crossing the heavens and the earth. The thick origin monarch key on them quickly repaired Xiaoyan's body. In just a few breaths' time, Xiaoyan had broken through to the 5th Sovereign Master realm. What the fuck is going on? The increase in strength did not make Xiaoyan excited. He only had endless doubts. With his status as the noble of the 3000 lightning monarch flames, how could he show mercy after absorbing some modeled lightning energy to increase his strength? At the same time as his strength increased, Xiaoyan's mind moved. Soul energy flowed out from between his brows and entered his mind. When he saw the change in the flame mantra, Xiaoyan was finally happy. The color of the flame mantra's chapter became even brighter and deeper. That kind of throbbing feeling came over. Xiaoyan sensed it slightly and found that the flame mantra had already advanced to the middle grade emperor rank. Bang! Following the last rumbling sound in his body, 6 crystal clear and translucent origin chains rumbled within Xiaoyan's body. The origin chains, which were as thick as an arm, connected with Xiaoyan's limbs and bones. The origin monarch key that filled the origin monarch key were exceptionally rich. 6 Dao Sovereign Master. The moment the 6 golden flames formed, the Xiaoyis also slowly dissipated. They turned into a small golden lightning dragon that obediently returned to the Xiaoyi's chest. The exhausted Xiaoyi touched the lightning dragon mark on its chest and laughed foolishly at Xiaoyan. The Xiaoao's figure also appeared at this moment. Its reckless attack just now had almost injured its origin. It yawned and the Xiaoao turned into a ball of fire and entered the Xiaoyi's body to recuperate. This fellow. Xiaoyan smiled helplessly. His soul withdrew from his body. He could roughly understand that when he was in the illusion realm, although the 3000 lightning monarch flames had been devoured, there was still some excess energy that had not been completely devoured. After absorbing the energy of the thunder accumulating pearl, the modeled energy and the pure energy of the monarch flame began to interact with each other. The energy was completely ignited, and only then did it suddenly erupt. In the end, Xiaoyan was able to gain a great deal from it. Woo! Xiaoyan opened his eyes and saw a few black wolves standing in front of him. Their eyes were flashing with a dark green light, and there were traces of black flames on their black fur. Black Fire Wolf, a middle-grade spirit beast. Its strength was about that of a human 7-path sovereign master. It was very obvious that these few black fire wolves were attracted by Xiaoyan's roar just now. Xiaoyan picked up the blue flame ruler that had fallen to the side, got up, and leapt backwards. He looked at the few black fire wolves in front of him, and the corners of his mouth could not help but curl into a smile. Coincidentally, just as he was about to test the strength of the 6-path sovereign master, a test stone appeared. 1, 2, 3. There are 12 of them in total. It is almost enough. Xiaoyan smiled lightly and suddenly rushed forward. Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.